Secretary, Icasem, MNIT Jaipur, Professor Prateek Bhanti, General Chair and Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, Professor Vikrant Sharma, Organizing Secretary, Icasem, Modi University of Science and Technology, respected faculty members and my dear friends.
I, Achal Maheshwari,
And I, Riya Singh,
welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of Icasem 2024.
In India, whenever we talk about beginning something auspicious, we take the name of Lord. So, we would like to invite upon stage members of Team Goonj, the official music society of Modi University, for the Saraswati Vandana.
शील हृदय में भर दे, जीवन त्याग तपोमय कर दे। साहसशील हृदय में भर दे, जीवन त्याग तपोमय कर दे। संयम सत्य स्नेह का भर दे, स्वाभिमान भर दे। अम्ब विमल मति दे, हंस वाहिनी ज्ञानदायिनी। लव कुश ध्रुव प्रहलाद बने हम, मानवता का त्रास हरे हम। लव कुश ध्रुव प्रहलाद बने हम, मानवता का त्रास हरे हम। सीता सावित्री दुर्गा माँ, फिर घर घर भर दे।
Thank you, Team Gunj. That was truly mesmerizing.
I would request our technical team to play the Kulgeet.
निर्माणों के पावन युग में हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले, स्वार्थ साधना की आदि में वसुधा का कल्याण न भूले। निर्माणों के पावन युग में माना अगम अगाध सिंधु है, संघर्षों का पार नहीं है। माना अगम अगाध सिंधु है, संघर्षों का पार नहीं है, किंतु डूबना मझधारों में साहस को स्वीकार नहीं है, साहस को स्वीकार नहीं है। जटिल समस्या सुलझाने को नूतन अनुसंधान न भूले, वसुधा का कल्याण न भूले। निर्माणों के पावन युग में शील विनय आदर्श श्रेष्ठता, तारे बिना झंकार नहीं है। शील विनय आदर्श श्रेष्ठता, तारे बिना झंकार नहीं है। शिक्षा क्या स्वर साध सकेगी यदि नैतिक आधार नहीं है, यदि नैतिक आधार नहीं है। कीर्ति कौमुदी की गरिमा में संस्कृति का सम्मान न भूले, वसुधा का कल्याण न भूले। निर्माणों के पावन युग में
There is a Sanskrit saying, Atithi Devo Bhava, which means guests are equivalent to God. I would like to invite all the dignitaries to the stage and request the volunteers to escort them.
Thank you, dignitaries. As we embark on this event, we extend a vibrant welcome to our guests, symbolizing the beauty and grace that surrounds us. I would request Dr. Shashibala Singh, President, Modi University of Science and Technology, to present the token of gratitude to our chief guest, Professor N.P. Pahadi, Chairman, BOG, and Director, MNIT Jaipur.
I would request Professor Prateek Bhanti, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, to welcome guest of honor, Professor Suresh Sethi, Eugene.
I would request Professor G.S. Dangayach, General Chair, ICASEM and CVO, MNIT Jaipur, to welcome the guest of honor, Professor H.G. Deshmukh, Ex-Director, ABV, IIITM Gwalior, and Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Delhi.
I would request Professor Vinod Man, Head of Department, Computer Science Engineering, to present the memento to Professor Shashibala Singh, President, Modi University of Science and Technology.
I would request Professor Mukul Paliwal to welcome Professor D.S. Kalicharan, General Chair, ICASEM and University of Mauritius.
I would request Professor Vikrant Sharma, Head of Department, Mechanical Engineering, to welcome Professor G.S. Dangayach, General Chair, ICASEM and CVO, MNIT Jaipur.
I would request Professor M.L. Meena to present the welcome to Professor Prateek Bhanti, Dean, SET.
Thank you, dignitaries.
International Conference on Application of Recent Technologies in Science, Engineering and Management for Societal and Industrial Development, ICASEM, is organized by the School of Engineering and Technology, Modi University of Science and Technology, in collaboration with Department of Mechanical Engineering, Malviya National Institute of Technology, MNIT Jaipur, and Department of Mechanical and Production Engineering, University of Mauritius. The objective of this conference is to provide a forum for the perception, interchange, and sharing of recent technological applications for societal and industrial growth. This multidisciplinary conference welcomes the original work to be presented on a variety of topics. Its focus is sufficiently broad to include theory, modeling, simulations, and real-world applications. Leading scientists, engineers, and researchers in the field are present in this conference from all over the world. Now, I would like to request Professor Prateek Bhanti, the General Chair of ICASEM 2024 and Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, to address this gathering.
I would like to request Professor Prateek Bhanti to welcome Professor Suresh Sethi.
Thank you, sir.
Greetings to the dignitaries present on the dais, Professor Padi, Director MNIT, Madam President Modi University, Professor S.G. Deshmukh, IIT Delhi, Professor Sethi, University of Texas, Professor Kalichand, University of Mauritius, and Professor G.S. Dangaich, MNIT. Sir, it is truly an honor to stand before you, that you have come across the globe, gathered here to share the insight in the realm of the science, engineering, and management. In the world where the contribution of women in engineering, science, and technology is increasingly recognized, it is heartening to host this event in Modi University, being a only women university. With a vision of psychological growth and capacity building, the cornerstone of Modi University's philosophy has been to train heart, minds, and to conserve nature. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Modi University of Science and Technology before you, sir. It is a NAC A+ accredited university located in the renowned and historical city of Rajasthan, Lakshmangarh Sikar. The university is driven on the belief that knowledge is the beginning of spirituality, and we inculcate both a flawless character and sensitivity of the rich Indian values, heritage, tradition that is infused with science and technology in the students. Situated in picturesque landscape that stretches across a sprawling 300 acres, our university embraces the essence of Rajasthan's cultural heritage. The university is aesthetically designed and marked with 73 state-of-art buildings with vast green lawns with a variety of fountains, extensive flower beds, tree-shaded streets, and avenue, literally transforming this Thar desert into an oasis. Students not only gain knowledge through textbooks and laboratories, but also learn from natural world around them. Our commitment to fostering an environment that nurtures intellectual growth, encourages creativity, and promotes a holistic development of our students through different units in the campus. We have School of Business, then School of Law, School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Design, and School of Engineering and Technology. It is worth mentioning that CSC and ECE Department of SET are ABET accredited. The university provides a unique transformational experience in guiding such students to emerge as the best and global version of herself through the School of Etiquettes and Finishing Skills. Recently, we have added School of Pharmacy and Distance Education in our family. Sir, it is our sheer pleasure and privilege to welcome you in our campus. Your arrival at campus will be an inspiration to the students and the faculty members. Thank you very much.
We appreciate your insightful remarks, sir.
Now, I would like to request Professor Emil Meena, the Organizing Secretary of ICASEM 2024, MNIT Jaipur, to address this gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Chairman, BOG and Director MNIT Jaipur, Professor N.P. Padi, Chief Guest, today's inaugural function of the Icasem 2024, President Ma'am, Professor Shashibala Singh Ma'am, Guest of Honor, S.G. Deshmukh Sahab, IIT Delhi, guest of honor, Suresh Settiji, Texas, Professor D.S. Kalicharan, Professor and my Guruji, Professor J.S. Dangai sir, and Professor Pratik Bhatiji, Dean, and all esteemed guests, speakers, faculty members, and dear participants. A very good afternoon to all of you. It is with great pleasure and enthusiasm that I present you about the International Conference on Application of Recent Technologies in Science, Engineering, Management for Societal and Industrial Development, organized by Modi University in association with MNIT Jaipur and University of Mauritius during 11 to 13, 2024. This conference has brought together experts, researchers, and scholars from around the globe, creating a platform for the exchange of ideas and the exploration of innovative solutions to the challenges facing our field. From the initial 239 research papers submitted, a rigorous review process led to the selection of 152 outstanding papers. Furthermore, we are delighted to report that 139 research papers have been successfully registered for presentation in this conference. 8 keynote addresses will be delivered by eminent speakers like Professor Suresh Sethi, Texas, Professor L.G. Deshmukh Sahab, IIT Delhi, Professor V.K. Jain sir, IIT Kanpur, Professor Abhay Sharma from Belgium, Professor Ravi Shankar sir, IIT Delhi, Professor J. Ram Kumar, IIT Kanpur, Professor S.P. Pandey sahab from Roorkee, Professor V.P. Wani sahab, MIT Nasik, from esteemed institutes all over the world. There are total 10 technical sessions in this conference, 20 session chairpersons from various esteemed institutions. We also acknowledge the international journals based on SCI and Scopus indexed, like Process Integration and Optimization for Sustainable from Springers, Journal of Micro Manufacturing, Sage Publishers, Recent Patents on Engineering from Bentham Science, and International Journal of Information Securities for partnering this publication. Wishing you a stimulating and rewarding experience as you explore in the conference. May the knowledge exchange during this conference serve as a catalyst for future breakthrough and advancement in our shared pursuit of the excellence. Thank you for being part of the Icasem 2024, and we look forward to your continued contribution to the Globe Academy community. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts.
Now, I would like to request Professor G.S. Dangayach, the General Chair of ICASEM 2024 and CVO MNIT Jaipur, to address this gathering.
Good afternoon. Respected Sri R.P. Modi, Chairman Modi University. Excuse me, my throat is not proper, so sometime. Professor Shashi Bala Singh, President Modi University. Professor N.P. Padi, Chief Guest, Director as well as Chairman of BOG, MNIT Jaipur. Professor Suresh Sethi, Guest of Honor, McDermott, Chair Professor, University of Texas, USA. Professor S.G. Deshmukh, my Guru and Guest of Honor, Ex-Director, IIITM Gwalior. Professor IIT Delhi, Professor Kalicharan, my friend from University of Mauritius. Professor N.K. Maheshwari, Dean Administration, Modi University. Professor Pratik Bhanti, Dean, Modi University. Professor Ravi Shankar, my friend from IIT Delhi. Professor Rakesh Premi, Dean Manipal University. Professor V.P. Wani, Principal MIT Nashik. Professor Mangeram, Graphicana University. My colleagues, Professor M.L. Meena, Dr. Sandeep, Dr. Vikrant from Modi University, and the faculty members of Modi University, and dear students. It is a great pleasure to be in front of you today during inaugural function of conference Icasem, the gathering of brilliant minds from diverse fields and corners of the globe is a testament to the power of knowledge and the importance of collaboration in our rapidly evolving world. Today's rich tapestry of perspectives is the key to unlocking solutions to the challenges that transcend borders and disciplines. Friends, MNIT Jaipur, with its rich history and commitment to excellence, is an ideal setting for such an event. This institute has been an ideal of knowledge and a cradle for nurturing young talents, contributing significantly to India's academic and technological landscape. MNIT Jaipur is an institute of national importance established by an Act of Parliament and funded by Government of India. It is one of the leading institutions of technology among 31 NITs of India. The campus is spread in 310 acres of land in the heart of Pink City, Jaipur. There are 13 departments and 3 centers of excellence, and we offer 8 UG programs, 26 PG programs, and doctoral programs in every department. Around 6,000 students studying in the campus. The highest package of 80,000 USD per annum is offered to our UG student. Around 8 to 12 students clearing every year the civil services exam. There are 350 dynamic and experienced faculty members in the institute. 100 patents were filed, out of 20 are already granted. The institute has 20 international and 17 national active MOUs, which includes Stanford University, USA, University of Dundee, UK, University of Saskatchewan, Canada, and University of Mauritius. MNIT has an active innovation and incubation center, which has more than 100 startups running business successfully. MNIT Jaipur ranked 37th in the NIRF ranking 2023. Our faculty members are doing research in the thrust areas such as nanotechnology, composite materials, disaster management, sustainable manufacturing, electric vehicles, smart grid, biofuels, ergonomics, and number of other areas. The Government of India has recently formulated, as you are aware, a new education policy in 2020. We are emphasizing at MNIT Jaipur for academic and research excellence. As per NEP 2020, MNIT is offering flexibility in the academic curriculum, such as exit policy and the major, minor, and the honors program. Teaching of 10% credit of program curriculum with industry experts. Provision for external faculty teaching under MOUs from renowned institutions across the globe. Student exchange with MOU institutions. Faculty exchange for joint collaborative research and project. Developing new joint UG-PG programs with the University of Repute. The theme of this conference, as we know, it reflects the interconnectedness of our world and the need for collaborate efforts to address global issues. In an era where information flows freely across borders, we must break down silos and work together to tackle the complex challenges that we are facing, whether in the realms of technology, science, humanities, or social sciences. Our collective intelligence can bring about transformative change. In conclusion, I encourage everyone participants to actively engage, network, and collaborate during this conference, forge connections, challenging existing paradigms, and inspire one another to think beyond conventional boundaries. Let us leave this conference with a wealth of knowledge, a renewed sense of purpose, and a commitment to positively impacting the world. So at the end, I thank you, the Modi University and the management and the faculty members and my colleagues who have worked day and night to make this conference a success. Thank you.
We deeply appreciate your insightful remarks, sir.
Now, I would like to request Professor D.S. Kalicharan, the General Chair of Icasem 2024 and University of Mauritius, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Sashi Balasingh, President of the Modi University. Professor Paddy, Chairman and Director of MNIT. Professor Prateek Bhanti, General Chair, Icasem. Professor Govind Dangayesh, General Chair, Icasem. Professor Meena and Professor Vikrant Sharma, Organizing Secretaries of Icasem. Our special guests, Professor Deshmukh and Professor Sethi. Greetings to all from Mauritius, even if I'm here. So today I feel honored and really privileged to be part of this opening ceremony in Modi University. I'm even more pleased that we managed to do a follow-up of the first edition that was held in Mauritius in October 2022, and we within 1 year and 1 month, 2 months after that, we managed to do it in India. We said that we were going to do it, and I would like to thank my colleagues, especially those from MNIT and from Modi University, that we managed to do it today. So what can I say about the University of Mauritius? I hope most of you know where Mauritius is. So Mauritius is a small island in the Indian Ocean, and we are very close to India, because most of the population there, like more than 60%, we are from Indian origin, like myself. And we still have got this attachment, and everything that you do here, we do the same thing there. The prayers, the type of food, everything, the culture has remained there. And most Mauritians like to travel to India at least once in their lifetime, just to know where we come from. So the University of Mauritius, in fact, is the largest of the 4 public universities that we have in Mauritius. We have more than 11,000 students, and mostly local students. Nowadays, we have started getting foreign students. We have 6 faculties, which are the Faculty of Engineering, where I'm from, the Faculty of Science, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, Faculty of Agriculture, the Faculty of Information Technology, and the last one being the Faculty of Medical Sciences, which we just started 2 years ago. So we have been present in the tertiary education environment in Mauritius for more than 50 years, and we have produced thousands of graduates so far. I'm myself an alumni of the University of Mauritius for my first degree. And so we can say that we always look forward at the level of the university to collaborate with international institutions, because being a small country, it's good to learn what others are doing, and it's good to meet them and to learn from them. You'll always learn from the best. Without any further ado, I would like to say that I look forward for this conference. We've seen the number of papers received and the seriousness in terms of reviewing the papers. Like we only 150 something papers were accepted out of more than 250. So that shows how serious the conference is, and I thank the colleagues again for that. So I would like also to see this opportunity to thank MNIT for their collaboration, MNIT Jaipur, and also a special thank to the Modi University and all the staff here for having us for these conference for the next 3 days. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all those who have sent their papers, and I would like to wish you all the best for the conference. Make the most out of it. And hopefully, I don't know, we haven't yet decided. Hopefully, I'm going to see some of you in Mauritius for the future. It's not next conference. And so our colleagues have visited the country. They know that it's a nice place to be. So wish you all the best, and thank you very much for having me again. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words.
Now, I would like to request Professor S.G. Deshmukh, Ex-Director, ABV, IIITM, Gwalior, and Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Delhi.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Professor Padhi, Professor Shashi Balaji, Professor Ravi Shankar, my colleague at IIT Delhi, my guru, Professor Suresh Sethi. Incidentally, he also happens to be alumnus of IIT Bombay, and we cherish our old days at IIT Bombay. Thank you, Professor Sethi, for finding time to come here. Professor Govind, who represents MNIT Jaipur and very prolific researcher. Professor Kalicharan, representing University of Mauritius. And as we all know, there are deep ties with Mauritius, spiritual, economical, and historical. So Kalicharan, thank you very much for finding time and collaborating with this institute. This is a very, I would say, historic moment. There are 3 institutes collaborating: Modi University, MNIT Jaipur, and University of Mauritius. And these 3 collaborating institutes are also deliberating on 3 different disciplines, that is science, engineering, and management. So it is a confluence of these 3 disciplines. And why this confluence? Confluence for having to deliberate on recent application of technologies which are basically for the benefit of societal and industrial development. So let me congratulate all these 3 partnering institutes. And it is a big mandate, especially in today's context. And I would say Mauritius represents a very interesting landscape. Mauritius and India, they are bound by what is called as blue economy. Mauritius has a very, very vital coastal line, and India has about 7,000 kilometers of coastal line. And this blue economy is also supposed to be a very, very vital catalyst in advancing our fulfillment of what is called as Sustainable Development Goal number 14. So I look for this conference, those applications which will be basically advancing our agenda as far as meeting of the Sustainable Development Goals are concerned. I think from that point of view, we must all congratulate these 3 institutes and give them a big hand for coming together. And I also thank the host institute, Modi University. I was just going through, we were just exchanging notes with Professor Sethi. The Kulgit which was presented, and that Kulgit nicely summarizes the philosophy of this university. The philosophy which is strongly built on Indian value system, philosophy which is highly grounded. Philosophy says that Vasudha ko na bhule. We must remember the Mother Earth and tries to spend each and every effort of our research in furthering the cause for the better environment. And since morning, we are all deeply impressed by the surrounding environment, the beauty of the campus, and most importantly, the closeness to the nature. I think there could not have been a better venue for such kind of confluence of 3 different themes. So once again, congratulate you and thank you very much.
Thank you for your impactful words, sir.
Now, I would like to request Guest of Honor, Professor Suresh Sethi, Eugene McDermott, Chair Professor at the University of Texas at Dallas, to address this gathering.
I did not know that I'm supposed to speak here. I thought I'm coming here to give a 1-hour speech on electrical vehicles, but here I am. It is a great honor and pleasure to be a participant of this conference. The invitation to this conference came to me rather late. I had already planned a trip to China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Chile, and Argentina. I came home on December 30, and the invitation from Govind Dangayach came after I had planned all these trips. And so I said, what am I going to do? But anyway, I came home on December 30. I celebrated the New Year's Eve at home. And on 2nd of January, I left for India. And the reason is kind of this thing. I couldn't turn down the invitation because of several reasons. One is that this is the first conference I've been invited to in Rajasthan. I have had a 50 years of academic career. I have never come to a conference in Rajasthan. So, first one, Govind. The second thing is that it is not only just Rajasthan. It is only 1.5 hours away from a town named Ladnu, where I was born. I was born there. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to come here and also visit the hometown. So tomorrow I'm going for a half-day trip to Ladnu and see some old classmates and some friends. So that is another thing, which is. The third thing was I was particularly intrigued by all-girls university. I have never been to one. I have never seen one. And I only have 2 daughters, and I'm very sensitive to women's issues. So I said, okay, I better come here and see what is going on. I see a beautiful campus. I see Dr. Meena, who is a great president, and Siri's, always smiling face. And so I thought, this is a good idea to come. And I just let you know, I'm very sensitive to women's issues. I marched. There was a movement of equal rights amendment in Washington, in the United States, about 1970s. And I watched with my girlfriends equal rights amendment in Washington, D.C. And it so happened that the amendment didn't pass because 2 states did not agree. Any amendment to the Constitution of the United States required all 50 states to agree. But 2 states did not agree. So it didn't pass, but we should not give up. We have to ensure that women get equal rights everywhere in the world. Equal rights means equal salary, equal everything. That hasn't happened, and I think that should happen. So that's these are some of the reasons why I'm here. I do want to finally thank, I think the only people, I took some notes just now while I was sitting there. So I would like to thank Govind and Vikrant, who was also communicating with me, and Dr. Bhanti, who invited me to this inaugural when I first learned that I had to give this 3-minute speech. And I definitely want to see Deshmukh, whom I know for years before his hair turned white. So I do know him well. So that one and all the guests here who are sitting on the dais, I'm really thankful. And I also like to be glad that I'm in the presence of these people. So I'm really honored. So thank you very much for inviting me, and I look forward to this conference.
Thank you, sir, for your impactful remark.
Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of anticipation as we approach a significant highlight of today's event. We are about to witness a remarkable unveiling, a symbol of knowledge and progress. Our esteemed President Ma'am and Director MNIT Jaipur are now ready to unwrap the first copy of the conference proceeding. It's a collection of enlightening insights and groundbreaking research. Let's watch this ceremonial moment with great enthusiasm. Let's give a round of applause as our dignitaries hold this beacon of knowledge.
From the writers and reviewers to the editors and designers, your dedication and expertise are what bring these pages to life. Thank you, distinguished guests, for being a part of this significant movement. Let's carry the light of knowledge forward, illuminated by the insights from these pages.
Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to request Dr. Shashi Bala Singh, President, Modi University of Science and Technology, who is a distinguished scientist and Director General, Life Sciences in Defense Research and Development Organization. Prior to DGLS, she was a scientist and Director of Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences. A person with strong will, she has distinction of serving as Director of Defense Institute of High Altitude Research from 2007 to 2010. She is an alumni of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, where she obtained her PhD degree in human physiology and in 1986. And she started her career in DRDO and DIPAS, Delhi in 1990. She was awarded the DSc from Bharatiya University in 2014.
Thank you for a very nice introduction. I hope I stand to what all has been said. At the outset, I want to welcome each one of you for this 3 days international workshop on application of recent technology in science, engineering, management for societal and industrial development. Really grateful to all the 2 organizing bodies along with MUST and MNIT Jaipur, University of Mauritius along with MUST is organizing this 3 days conference. Thank you for coming together for a similar cause. Dignitaries on the dais, chief guest, respected Professor N. Padhi sir. He is Chairman BOG and also the Director of MNIT Jaipur. Thank you, sir, for coming here to this great university, and thank you for sparing your valuable time to be part of this ceremony. I also welcome guest of honor, Professor S.G. Deshmukh, who has been really seeing this campus, He has given his heart to this campus. Thank you, sir. And Professor Suresh Sethi from University of Texas. Sir, thanks for coming, and I think tomorrow you'll be visiting your village, so really look forward for a very wonderful day for you. Professor Dev Kumar, thank you for being with us, sir, all the way from Mauritius to Lakshmangarh. Professor G.S. Dangyaj, who is from MNIT Jaipur, thank you, sir, for accompanying your director and bringing him to this place. I also thank and welcome all the dignitaries, especially the resource speakers. We have a lot of very distinguished resource speakers, Professor Ravi Shankar, Professor Jairam Kumar, Professor U. Bivani, Professor S.P. Padhi, Professor Rakesh, and many more, and my dear colleagues from MUST, especially from SET, SOB, SOD, all the schools of university, and my dear students. Welcome to this inaugural function. And this 3 days workshop, I'm sure, will stimulate all of you to generate new ideas, to collaborate, to have some kind of networking with each other. And that will help us grow, that will help us nurture this university, that will help us professionally make yourself better and better. When you look at the science, when we talk of science, technology, and innovation, this is what is being the key words now when we talk of this. science, technology, innovation. These are three words which are really spearheading and talking and determining the future of the science in India, not only India, but globally. And one thing which I always comes to mind, whatever research we are doing, whether as a defense researcher or as a transport person or as a life sciences researcher or as a pharma researcher or as a maybe as an electronic person who is doing research or electrical or civil engineer, we all work for the same reason, for the same cause. All this research converges to the single point. What is that? That is, how do we improve the quality of a common man? How do we improve the quality of life of a common man? So all this research converges to the same point, and this is how we want to, that's why it is always said that whatever you're planning as a research, please see how this research, whether it's a basic research, can this be transformed, can it be sort of fed into some kind of a focused research, can be fed into some kind of applied research, and finally we talk of translational research. Because, research is important, and it's the taxpayer of money which get invested into the research. But then, please see when you design or experiment, when you design a project, how the research is sort of becoming part of a common person. How do we benefit the society at large? And this is a very important keyword which is there in this title of the conference, for societal and industrial development. And nowadays, technology is moving at a very fast rate, very fast rate. What is today valid technology becomes obsolete tomorrow. So we need to invent, and sort of, again, tune to the latest thing which is happening. One thing is there, when we, as a student, you should be able to develop scientific temperament. Try to understand natural process through scientific validation, through eye of a scientist. Because as India is very, very old country, century old country, we have lot of processes in place. And I always believe that the system itself is very intelligent system. Only thing we need to understand it through the eye of a scientist. How do we understand all the natural process you see? We are talking of nanotechnology. We have a lot of peacocks in our campus, If you see the color of those wings and, everything, that again is based on nano. The way the color which gets reflected, everything, it's a nanoscience. If you understand, because all this natural process, they have scientific basis, try to understand them. And especially when we talk of traditional knowledge, especially I'm talking of the health sciences, because this is what is now is being talked about. After COVID-19, we have all realized health is wealth, not the wealth is health. So if health is wealth, we need to understand health. And we need to also explore what is already available traditionally. And believe it, all the traditional knowledge, especially even in health sciences, in other area, have a scientific basis. Only thing we need to understand it, and also need to validate it scientifically. And one thing more which we should be doing is, because of the technological advances now, you can see the cell, with the cell movement, how the cell is, how the calcium channels are, ions are moving, or how the things are, how the cell is performing, what kind of reactions are taking place. So this is the time to revalidate the traditional knowledge which we know for centuries together. I think with this science, and once we validate the traditional knowledge, I'm sure we'll be able to promote, propagate this traditional knowledge to the masses. And this is where the health system will be the most benefited, because allopathy or the high-end equipments cannot be there in the remote locations. So there are many areas which can be researched. I feel even health science, all the traditional knowledge, we need to work, we need to understand the science behind them, also revalidate them, put more science, add more value to the science, and make it better. So this is how I look at the science, and since you are all young students sitting here, I'm sure with 3 days of deliberations, you will be richer, and you'll understand things better. And please see, this is the time to have networking. If you have some ideas, please talk to the people. We have the dignitaries from different places. They are all very qualified, highly experienced. They can guide you, they can mentor you. So please network with them, try to understand, and also try to collaborate wherever we can. And I'm looking forward with the director, MNIT. I've talked to him. I'm sure we'll be working with him very closely, and hope that we'll be able to collaborate and bring in more projects to MUS. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful words.
Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Professor N.P. Paddy, Chairman BOG and Director MNIT Jaipur. He received the PhD degree in Power Systems Engineering from Anna University, Chennai, India in 1997. He is currently the Director of Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. He was the Dean of Academic Affairs Institute NEEPCO 92 batch and Ravi Mohan Mangal Institute Chair Professors with IIT Roorkee. He is the national lead of many national and international projects. He has co-authored and authored numerous research articles in reputed international journals. His research interests include power system analysis, demand-side management, energy market, network pricing, AC/DC smart grid, and applications and machine learning techniques. He was the recipient of the IEEE PES Outstanding Engineers Award 2018, Boys Cust Fellowship, and the Humboldt Experienced Research Fellowship in the year 2005 and 2009, respectively. Now, I would like to request him to address the gathering.
So, very good afternoon and evening. Professor Sasiwala Singh, President, Modi University. We do have Professor Suresh Sethi, very humorous and very knowledgeable person. We have Professor Desmukh, and then we have Professor Dangaj, my colleague, Professor Kalicharan, wonderful friend. We had great time in Mauritius last year, and Professor Bhanti, faculty members of Modi University, participants of the conference, and dear student friends. When I enter the campus, you will be all happy to know that I started my career and got my first salary from Rajasthan 25 years back. I started my career in Bits Pilani. And that time we heard about there is a small rural village called Laxmangarh. And many colleagues at that time planned to have a picnic in this area, but I could not join. And then two of my department friends led this university, Professor Jain and Professor Mukherjee, almost for 10 years. And recently when I joined MNIT Jaipur, and when Professor Dangais proposed that we will have it in Modi University, I was honestly a bit hesitant that can I make it or not. But finally, when I realized that it's purely a girls' university, then I thought, let me understand, because as similar to Professor said, even for me, it is the first university of girls that I'm visiting today. And the moment I entered, I was extremely impressed. I'm just telling from my heart. I was very happy. I could see girls carrying musical instruments and coming out of a small hostel. I just got surprised when the road from Jaipur to Sikar was so dry. And then suddenly you see there is a university which is very active, So that attracted my attention. And today you all witness. Yeah, and it witnessed that all the students seems to be very intelligent, very sincere, and disciplined. But ma'am, I would have been extremely happy if this room would have been completely full of girls. Because I'm not going to do the formal introduction, but I want to teach something for next 15 minutes, if permitted. The conference is aimed to connect industry with societal impacts. So I will get into my topic of my expertise for last 3 decades and then try to connect how society can play an important role, then engineers and scientists, to take this country to next height. When we talk about energy, and Professor Seth, talked about electric vehicles he is going to talk about, and probably he'll be surprised to know that is also my favorite area, but I'm working on energy aspects in a different direction. In India, the total installed capacity today is close to 415 gigawatt. The energy installed, I suggest all my young friends to take note of this actually in your mobile if possible. And this you will not forget till your death, what I'm going to disclose today. 415 gigawatt of energy which has been installed in this country. However, the requirement, the peak energy requirement of this country today, can anyone guess? Can you guess what is the energy requirement of this country? No clue. Can you help me to say, is it more than 415 or less than 450? More than. Unfortunately, you all are wrong. It is less than 415. Can you tell me it is less? Answer clues given. Is it 80%, 90%, 50%, 60%? Now can you guess? How much? No, it is close to 50%. That is 200 plus gigawatt is the requirement evening peak. All right? So I'm not giving you the correct pictures because you belong to different domain and disciplines. So let us not get into number. So thumb rule, 400 gigawatt installation and 200 gigawatt is the requirement. Just easy to remember, all right? Even if the requirement is 50% of its installed capacity in India, why do we have energy scarcity? Why do we have sort of energy? Why villages do not get energy during summer? That is the question that need to be answered. Engineering means not to get 8 or 9 CGPA and get a job. You need to understand everything. And I'll make your journey next 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes in such a manner that you need not be an engineer to understand engineering. You need not be an electrical engineer to understand electrical engineering. You can be anything, but you can understand if you have a little bit of IQ. The issues are, I think some brilliant girls can guess those answers. I want to have a participation in this discussion. Why even 50% requirement is not being met? Still we have energy deficit. That means all those 400 odd gigawatt installations are being carried out. They are not available throughout the day. They are not available throughout the day. Solar, renewable energy, which is available during day but not in the evening. Wind energy, which is available in the evening but not in the day. The thermal power plants are not operating with its 100%. Hydropower stations do not have enough water. And these are the reasons, even though having 415 gigawatt of installation, the energy available to me is slightly less than 215 gigawatt. And that is what the deficit of this nation today. Am I right? And that is known as peak energy deficit, which was 4% before 10-15 years, but recently it is almost nullified. So now, almost we are close to the requirement. Now, tomorrow, because we are all belongs to middle class, aspired Indian citizens, am I correct, girls? Thank you very much. I belong to a humble background, so I understand much better than anybody else in engineering. When we were young kids, my father used to tell me to switch off the fan the moment you come out of the room. But today my son switch on the AC thinking that when I come back after 1 hour, the room will be chilled. So this is the problem of aspiration. We had only one fan during my childhood. We all family members used to sleep nicely under the fan. But today we have air condition even in the guest room, which is being opened maybe 3 to 4 days in a year. So what has happened? The energy requirement has gone significantly high. I do appreciate we have to be ambitious. We need to grow as a nation. But who will meet those energy requirements? That is where the society is coming to an action. So I have already started connecting science with society, and I'm going one step ahead. So this 215 gigawatt requirement will go 300 gigawatt in next 5 years because we are ambitious. We want to have wonderful life. That is good. But who will meet those energy? That installation has to be done. But the biggest challenge today, the Paris Agreement says we cannot go for thermal power plants, which is not permitted. Hydropower projects need green clearance, which take forest clearance almost for decades. Still it is not possible. So nuclear, we do not have our own 100% technology. So nuclear is out, thermal is out, hydro is also out. So who are the things left? Very good, very good. So renewable energy is the only source. But unfortunately, my dear friend, God is not kind to engineers. Why do I say that? Because God has given you energy when you do not need it. Please understand. Wind energy is available to you when you are sleeping, and solar energy is available to you when you are taking lunch or not you are in office. Okay, so the energy has to come between 6 to 8 p.m. where the whole country has to be lightened, offices are almost open, markets are active. So who will give me energy during 6 to 8 p.m. is challenging. So God has given me energy, but said, look, engineers, you have to be very careful, you have to work further hard. I've given you some time that need to be shifted to 6 to 8 p.m. So the morning solar energy and evening wind energy need to be shifted to 6 to 8 p.m. And that's why energy storage came to action. So that need to be stored and dispatched as and when needed. But that is a very expensive component. We cannot afford to do that. So one suggestion, today there are 4 crore plus, Professor Sethi will be surprised to know, in India there are 4 crore electric vehicles are on the street today. And all those 4 crore electric vehicles are being charged. At what time? I mean the rickshaws, including this battery rickshaws. They are being charged at what time? There is no timing, my dear friends. They charge as and when the battery gets discharged. Imagine if those crores of rickshaws are getting charged at 6 p.m. Then it is horrifying, am I right? You don't have energy. So what will happen? The moment you plug one electric vehicle in Jaipur city, means one village near Lakshmangarh is getting switched off. And during Diwali night, 50% of Indians may not be able to celebrate Diwali in next 50 years if you are not cautious. So my suggestion to all of you, now the society has to play an important role. There is no engineering here. Engineers will do their duty. But the society can play an important role not to consume unwanted forced equipments during energy deficit hours of this nation. This is not applicable to America. This is not applicable to North America, no European countries. I mean, they have enough energy. They are 200, 300 fold. But this resource problem is unique to our nation and perhaps most of the developing nations. So I request my kids to work in an area where you can do research which is India specific, and where the society can be educated to contribute to greater research heights. So what are the solutions? One immediate solutions, because it is a girls' university, I like to suggest you can influence your mothers and your sisters. Now, do you all have washing machines at home? Yes. When you switch on those washing machines? No, there is no timing, my dear friend. Whenever your mom is free or dad is free, that time they will switch it on. Am I right? So, can we not switch on the washing machine during midnight or early morning when the demand is not high? It is possible. I can. Midnight means, because it is possible, you need to switch it on at midnight to utilize the wind energy, or early morning to utilize the renewable energy when the demand is not too high for the nation. But who will do that? Either dad or mom, actually both are very, very disappointed with this approach. So we need to have a washing machine which can be dumped, clothes are dumped, and just the power need to be switched on at a given time. How do you identify the off-peak hour? You understand what is off-peak? Off-peak means we do not experience energy deficit. So that time the washing machine need to be switched on. Means when the load is low, the washing machine need to be switched on. So when the load is low, what about your frequency? More or less? High. Very good. Very good. What is your name? Black t-shirt? Yeah, you answered correct. Yeah. Very good. You are an electrical engineer? But you are intelligent. Yeah, very good. So the frequency is high. That means the frequency is more than 50. Am I right? Okay. So you need to have a sensor which will identify the moment the frequency is more than 50 hertz. That time the washing machine will be switched on. And the moment it is less than 50, means peak deficit area, the washing machine or electrical vehicles should not be switched on. The smart electric vehicles today have all this mechanism. But जो जुगाड़ वाला एक्चुअली हम रिक्शा और डिवाइसेस यूज़ कर रहे हैं, उसमें वो टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. तो मैं चाहूँगा कि आप लोग अपनी एरिया में एजुकेट करें, स्पेशली जो इलेक्ट्रिक रिक्शास ऑपरेट करते हैं, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट वेरी इंटेलिजेंट और नॉलेजेबल, उनको ये गाइड करें कि भैया इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल को उस दौरान चार्ज करो जब देश की डिमांड खतरा में नहीं है. मीन्स दे हैव टू ईदर चार्ज इन द लेट नाइट or in the early morning, which is not being practiced. So what you need to do, you have to make a camp in a village, educate 50 rickshaw pullers, battery rickshaw pullers, and decide their charging timings. Okay? So can you now see that there is a societal impact on engineering? Without having any knowledge, you can still do research and help the society to grow. I think with this note, I do not want to stress you all, but I hope I'm very happy that a non-engineer answered my question perfectly all right today. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your impactful speech.
We are here to recognize and felicitate the extraordinary contributions made by our dignitaries. It's a time to honor your achievements and hard work that have helped you to grow and flourish. We invite Professor Shashi Bala Singh, President Modi University of Science and Technology, and Prateek Bhanti Sir, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology, to felicitate our chief guest, Professor N.P. Padi, Director, MNIT Jaipur. We invite you to felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Suresh Sethi, and guest of honor, Professor S.G. Deshmukh. Thank you, dignitaries.
I would like to invite Professor Vikrant Sharma, Head of Department Mechanical Engineering, to felicitate Professor Shashibala Singh, President Modi University. I
We
request
request
Professor
Profe-
Vikrant Sharma to felicitate Professor D.S. Kalicharan.
Thank you, dignitaries. We now invite Professor Mukul Paliwal to felicitate Professor G.S. Dangyaj. Thank you, sir.
We invite Professor Amil Meena to felicitate Professor Prateek Bhanti, Dean, School of Engineering and Technology. Thank you, sir.
I would now request Professor Vikrant Sharma, Organizing Secretary, ICASEM 24, and HOD Mechanical Engineering, Modi University of Science and Technology, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to all of you. I stand before you with immense gratitude as the organizing secretary of ICASEM 2024, jointly organized by Modi University of Science and Technology, Lakshmangarh, Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur, and University of Mauritius, Mauritius. I am honored to extend my heartfelt thanks to all those who are contributing for the success of this event. First and foremost, my sincere appreciation goes to the leadership and administration of Modi University of Science and Technology, Malviya National Institute of Technology, Malviya Institute of Technology, Jaipur, and the University of Mauritius for their unwavering support. I am deeply grateful to our distinguished chief guest, guest of honor, President Modi University of Science and Technology, keynote speakers, and session chairs, Dean Academics, Dean School of Engineering and Technology, other schools' deans, principal, and audience for gracing this occasion with their presence. I extend my gratitude to the organizing committee members, volunteers, and the dedicated staff who have worked tirelessly to ensure the seamless execution of ICASEM 2024. To the researchers, scholars, and participants who have submitted their research papers. Thank you for choosing ICASEM 2024 as the platform to share your valuable contributions. Your work is the heart of this conference, and we appreciate your dedication to advancing knowledge in relevant field. I thank you all participants who are with us in live broadcast. A special note of thanks to our sponsor IBM, whose generous support has facilitated the organization of this international event. Last but not least, to all the attendees, your active participation is what makes this conference vibrant and dynamic. We hope the next few days will be filled with stimulating discussions, networking opportunities, and the exchange of ideas. In conclusion, on behalf of the organizing committee, I express our deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. We are excited about the journey ahead and look forward to a successful and enriching international conference ICASEM 2024. Thank you, and may the conference be a memorable and rewarding experience for us all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
I would request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Now,
to see that optimal subsidy in a budget-driven problem, which is minimize the budget, given that given that the government should have a different kind of account. So given that, you can sort of see that if you fix the adoption level will be here. If you fix the adoption level, we can show that the number of stations will be increasing. So the higher the construction of the station, charge will be less than that. And the subsidy, the government subsidy will first increase and then decrease. So this kind of the analysis that characterizes the solution we do. If you fix the construction cost of the charger, you can see the subsidy will increase in A. Higher the level of adoption by the government, higher the subsidy will increase. That would be one of the things. And as S increases, so does the number of things. So these are kind of the things that and we give those results in the paper. I think, because I sent you two, because there was an email with the two of these models. One was 1 hour, one was 15 minutes, and you presented 15 minutes here. Okay, so in our paper, we developed analytical models. I described to you analytical models in words. And so we designed these models to design effective subsidy programs with the impact of charging inconvenience. Our big contribution is how to model the charging inconvenience based on some data we type. We derived the optimal subsidies. That means how much the government should give the stations, the charging station subsidy, and how much the government should give the consumer subsidy. And given those, we build a model and a demand function, etc., to solve this particular game and identify several structural properties. Structural properties means what happens when some parameter increases. And that's kind of sensitivity analysis kind of thing we do. And we assume two kind of inconvenience. One is function going like that, which is called a quadratic inconvenience, and it's based on the inconvenience in quadratic fashion. The other one is linear, that the distance is linear. So we define those two models and just show that while the quadratic is more realistic, linear gives you simpler model, and the results are not that much different. So that's another kind of thing that you do in the paper. We obtain numerical results under quadratic inconvenience and show that our results are consistent with analysis. Let me also mention a few more things given that I'm giving a shorter talk. So there's another, so let me just describe this much as well. One of the things that we don't do in the paper is what happens over time. Subsidies of the government cannot be given forever. Subsidies will not last forever. So subsidy has to be phased out sooner or later. So our new paper, which is still under review, is a two-period model in which the first period is what we do, and the second period we decide how to phase out the subsidy. So this is a two-period kind of game. It's more complicated, but that's what we do here. And as you can see, Tesla, for example, the total sales from 2010 to June 2002 was 605,000, and the total sales from this period was 1 million. And so the subsidy was given only for the first 200,000 vehicles. So Tesla is already in life. In practice, Tesla subsidy is gone because after 200,000 there's no subsidy. So that's already phased out. And for example, if you look at the General Motors subsidies going out, Nissan by this time 2021 still have 35,000 more cars that would be subsidized by the government. And so you see that the different countries are phasing out in some way. So we have to kind of develop a model whether this is an optimal phase out by the or not. So that was another model that we were discussing in this is a second paper. And the research purpose now is to study the optimal pricing strategy under subsidy termination. So what is the pricing when we know that the subsidy will be terminated? And the research questions were what are the manufacturer's optimum prices before and after subsidy phase out? So in one period, the price will be this one, the second will be the price of that. So we need to give you the prices in 2 periods. What are the factors impacting the manufacturer's decisions? How would they change? How should the government terminate the subsidy? Because the government has to decide when to terminate subsidy. So there has to be the optimum decision by the government. So that's another thing that we study in this paper. And what are the results when there are competing manufacturers? This is what happens when you send a paper to journals. The reviewer is saying, okay, competition is missing. So now we have to put competition in the model and give you another section of competition to try to please the referees so the paper can get accepted. The take key aways from this paper is that the optimal second period price is lower than the first period price, but higher than the first period effective price. Effective price normally includes the charging inconvenience, price minus the subsidy as well, and it's a sort of sandwich pricing strategy. We analyze the impact of learning rate. That means when there are more than one period, learning takes place. In one period they don't learn with model standard. The 2 periods you can learn in the second period because there is a lot of things going on in the first period. So we have to find out how the learning rates for optimal decision impacts these decisions. We implement the qualified sales rule to terminate subsidy, which means, because in practice what happens is subsidies are given by the government, but there are always accountants who create issues. For example, suppose subsidy terminates this date. Now, somebody bought the car, now here will be delivered date. So the question is, will we subsidize this car? So those are other communications that happen in real life. So we need to kind of find out whether these are qualified or not qualified, and how these rules affect our analysis. And then we finally explore the problem under competition and obtain the insight. And individual learning and group learning, by that we mean that if a company learns storage capacity of battery, company learns about its effectiveness or how fast they can charge, they don't give it to another company. Group learning means I learn, but other companies also learn. So we need to figure out how that particular idea affects the models. And I think, okay, I don't want to talk about this. We do have a thing. So can I spend 2 or 3 minutes to what I talked about without the equations? Now I can tell you what it was. So you can quickly end of that. So let me give you. The price of the car is P0. Government gives you R, so the price is P minus R. And HN is the charging inconvenience. So that adds to the price. And HN is the model that we built in. So the EV demand, which is the function of N and R, so as N increases, D increases, so it's less charging inconvenience. And as R increases, D increases because R means your price goes down. And so we can sort of say the demand function is A minus B times effective price. This is called a linearly dropping demand. This is a very standard kind of thing in our assumption. The charges problem, as you can see, that if there's a demand, the government decides on R and S, which is the subsidy, will come in later. It's right here. So D and R is the demand. What is the profit of the charger? The profit of the charger is rho times D times D of NR, which means each time a car is bought, the charger gets low amount of money. So that is the revenue. And the cost of building the charging station is C times N, because the cost of charging station is C, but the government gives you S. So the cost of charging is C minus times N. So remember I told you there are 2 objective functions. One of the government, one of the charges. The charges objective function is exactly this. Let's see what else is there. Here's the government's problem. So the government's problem is government decides on R, the consumer subsidy, and the station subsidy S. And when the government decides that, the government has an expenditure. So the expenditure, so each time a car is bought, the government pays R. So R times D, which is the demand, is the subsidy of the government. D depends on N, and N depends on R and S. Okay, so that gives you the demand function. And each time a station is built, this also function of RS, each time a station is built, government gives S. And as I mentioned to you, budget-driven problem is government minimize the expenditure subject to the condition that the demand is at least A. So that is your goal of how many cars that you want. So let's not talk about the other model. One is enough. And we show that these two are equivalent. Okay, and let's talk about a little bit about the convenience. So we modeled charging inconvenience by this quadratic function, and we estimate this quadratic function at Beijing, Vietnam, by the way. And based on that, we then tell you that Hn is the effective price of the inconvenience. This is the amount you add to the cost of the car to allow the inconvenience part. Let me not go here. Let me do one more thing here. This is the resource system, the graph it's going to tell you the estimate the parameters, etc., and tell you where are the when they should do a consumer subsidy, when to do a federal subsidy, and when to do it. These are some of the figures that allow you to do that. Okay, I think that's about it. There's a paper available. I'm sorry. I did not have a chance to look at the slides before it becomes very okay, this one is very anxious to use. Okay, in that case, thank you very much. Okay, this goes away. So you get another glass.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and distinguished researchers, I'm Swati Agrawal, and it is my great honor to stand before you today to introduce Professor S.G. Deshmukh, whose contributions to the field of research have been nothing short of exceptional. I am thrilled to announce that he is an eminent scholar and distinguished faculty member at the renowned Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi.
You can skip that. I think we are running out of time. Yeah. So very good evening to all of you. And very nice that you are still awake and trying to understand what are the proceedings of this conference. So at the outset, I would like to thank a variety of people, Professor Tiwari, Professor Mohanty, Ravi Shankar, who is sitting in the front row, and my colleagues at IIT Delhi. And I will briefly talk about this work, what we are doing at IIT Delhi from the sustainable operations management point of view, and a key applications where we can apply the basic concept of sustainable operations management. And the interest in this particular domain is consistently increasing. It has broadened as well as deepened, and there are a lot of evidence to this. There are many top journals which are coming out with special issues on sustainable operations management. If we search on the Scopus database, if you find out what is the interest in sustainable operations management, you can see the numbers of papers which are increasing, and especially in the last 5 years, there is a considerable increase in this particular interest area. And what is interesting, this is a very nice paper published in Manufacturing and Service Operation Management, again one of the top journals. And what he says that the Sustainable Operations Management paper, they have citations in other areas as well. About more than 42% of the citations are coming from the other discipline. Other discipline could be science and engineering, environmental research, economics, and so on. So what is the moral of this? Moral of the story is that sustainable operations management is truly interdisciplinary, and it also offers a good opportunity of converging a variety of discipline. And maybe this is because of the huge interest, growing interest in the area of climate change, the way we are disturbing our surrounding environment, and so on. So from that point of view, it is exciting to look at this. And again, there is an interesting paper which was published long back in 2006, again coming from Manufacturing and Service Operation Management. And at that time, the authors had projected two conjectures. This was in 2006, that the environmental management in operations will become established and part of the mainstream operations management by year 2015. And it has happened much before that. And similarly, this research has also attracted a lot of interdisciplinary effort into this. And especially in our context, what we have to look forward, the theme of this conference is basically recent applications of technologies which are basically for industrial and societal development. And when we talk about society, when we talk about industry, we cannot forget the context. When Professor Padhi was giving an example of washing machine, and that example has appealed to every one of us. Why? Because it is close to our heart, it is close to, we can understand very well, and we can make deep impact by following some simple protocols. So when we do research, we have to also understand what is the context, in which type of culture this particular initiative is to be implemented. And as a researcher, as an observer, can we connect the dots and do something for the society? So what we say, that there is an interesting connect between context, culture, and connect. And if we look at the context, especially today's time, these are really opportune time for a variety of supply chains which are emerging in our country. And look at the lot of developments which are taking place, whether it is installing the Apple in our country, or we are paying a major global player because of our geopolitical situation, or we are also trying to basically transform a variety of other domains through the supply chain. So what we say, supply chains and India, they have got interesting landscape, and this landscape is on account of variety of reasons. There is a strategic attention given by the government. Our Prime Minister, in his speech on 15th August 2020, he mentioned about supply chain management. And today there are all speech mining softwares available. So researchers also try to mine the text. So what has been found in his speech, he uttered the supply chain management word for 20 times. So that is the attention coming from the highest quarter. Again, in the last speech, he has also emphasized that our supply chain should be resilient, our supply chain should be kind of a model setting for other countries, and so on. And that has also been set by a variety of initiatives which are taking place. We are all aware the initiatives like UPI, Unified Payment Interface. Similarly, another initiative that is called as ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. And this is also going to be a landmark initiative by which the information flow and the money flow within a supply chain is going to be accelerated many times. So in a typical supply chain, what we say, there are three important flows. The flow of material, we transport commodities from one location to another, we add value, and after value addition, it gets transported to somebody else. And as an end customer, as a consumer, we get the commodity, we get the product, we get the services. Alongside, we also have a very, very important flow called as information. And all these exist because ultimately, at the end of the day, it has to be translated into money flow. So fortunately, the environment which is there currently, we are also providing some kind of a leadership as far as supply chains are concerned. And from that point of view, the assumption is that in our context, especially in Indian context, the public systems act as a canvas for implementing a variety of initiatives as far as sustainable operation management is concerned. And in this case, why we got attracted to this, there is a very interesting book which came out in 2016. It talks about public service operations management. The application of operations management, especially for large scale public system, and these are very much valid in our context. In Indian context, you look at the pioneering role of the government, the facilitating role of government, the role of government as the largest service provider. And from that point of view, can we think of some of the application? And again, if we look at the literature, this is also another interesting journal which has come out with a variety of applications within the domain of sustainable public service operations management. This is also interesting for the researcher. So what we say, these public systems are the large scale system where the focus is to affect, impact the bottom of pyramid by variety of schemes which are proposed by the government. And in that case, are there any applications of supply chain management which looks at this? So from that point of view, at IIT Delhi, we have established a lab. This is called as Public System Lab. This is with the sponsorship coming from WFP, World Food Program. And to begin with, we had a look at a variety of applications within the public distribution system. And along with this, there are another set of applications, especially the way operations management technique can be applied to legal environment, the way OM application can be applied to healthcare, and so on. So these problems are basically large scale problems. They have deep impact, and so on. So this is some of the efforts which we are trying to do. We are trying to look at the public distribution system as a model case for state of Uttarakhand, how the movement is to take place from the regional depot to the FCI, the warehouses by central government. Similarly, can we develop a good dashboard? And for that, we have taken Rajasthan as the case study. That can we develop a dashboard in trying to achieve, are we in a position to meet the goals of the Sustainable Development Goal Initiative? So from that point of view, we are trying to look at a variety of problem areas. And these problem areas, since we are talking about sustainable development, the public system provides a very good opportunity for this. We are all aware there are 17 SDGs which have been defined. When we pursue research, we can also link our research that which particular area is we are going to affect, whether it is SDG 2, whether it is SDG 12, whether it is SDG 5, and so on. So that way, it also provides a good motivation for a researcher who is working within the domain of sustainable operations management. And these are some of the indicative areas. These are all pointing towards examining the very, very important system in Indian context, and that system is the public distribution system. And the goal is to meet SDG number 2. So the first example is of public distribution system, the biggest distribution network in the world, which is having more than 4 lakh fair price shops. There are, just look at the volume which is transported, look at the depots which are spread across the country, and the modes of transport which have been utilized. And in such cases, what we feel that there is a substantial role which can be played by operations management community. And that role is visualized at various levels. And it is a very, very interesting case in the Indian context that we are one of the very few countries where food security has been enacted by a law. 2013, there is a National Food Security Act in which we are supposed to have the food which is available, food which is accessible to masses, as well as at the affordable price. So the motivation for public distribution system is coming from this. And typically in the operations management context, this is nothing but a typical optimization problem. And this problem is just magnification of a classical transportation problem. So what we have done, we are examining a variety of states for which data has been made available, and we are trying to build a variety of decision support systems for this. And why this decision support system? To answer a number of questions. What will happen if we intervene through technology? What will happen if some of the states stop supplying some of the item? What will happen if some of the fair price shops are increased in number or their quota is increased and so on? And through such type of scenarios, we also try to advise the government. Basically, what is the purpose of this? Purpose of this is to provide some kind of a vital link between the field and the modeller's world. And what we have found through our algorithm, that there is a substantial reduction in the cost provided we apply these models logically and with a consistent database. For example, this is a simple example. If we can cluster some of the supply zone, what will be the impact in the reducing of the cost? And what is important, that this reduction is of a sizable magnitude. It is 20 to 30%. Just imagine 20 to 30% cost for a country like India is a substantial cost. And this happens just by simple application of large scale model, where now thanks to IT, thanks to good data capturing system, we have got access to reliable data. And from that point of view, we try to have a look at this. And for such system, the systems which are directed for the welfare of the people, we also, as a research community, we also need to measure the impact. And what dimension should be taken into account by which we try to evaluate such kind of large scale scheme. So that also becomes some kind of a fodder for the research community. These are again some of the areas where we are trying to apply these techniques and try to come out with some, I would say, reasonable solution. And in the domain of operations management, there are two strategies. We can explore or we can exploit. We can exploit the existing process, we can suggest some incremental modification, or we can also think of some radical solution, maybe by the intervention of technology. So as a modeler who is interested in making substantial impact, we have to look on both of these fronts. And how this has been applied here, in this case of PD's public distribution system, is this way. That when we exploit the existing structure, maybe there is a substantial saving of 20 to 30%. Or maybe when we are forecasting the grain requirement, when we are forecasting some of the prices and so on, maybe we can use our techniques of AI or machine learning. This is from the front of exploitation. From exploration point of view, we try to invest in technology. And there is a very interesting grain dispensing machine, which is equivalent of our ATM. And this machine will dispense the required amount of grain. And this is also going to be a landmark improvement as far as the supply of these commodities are concerned. Right now, it is being tested in Gurgaon and in Lucknow. And likewise, there is also potential of other technologies in this. So for a researcher, there is also an opportunity of relooking at what we call it as the people, processes, and technology framework. Because thanks to data, thanks that the government is also becoming extremely data hungry, that data is now available. And many of the states have also gone for what is called as EPDS, that electronic public distribution system. And moment there is an accessibility of data, this again becomes some kind of an input for revising our worldview, revising our model, and we can think of some better alternative. For example, this ATM will also try to plug some of the problem in the existing distribution system. And the cost is not going to be much. Again, IIT Delhi, our design department is looking at how to cut down the cost of this ATM machine. And if we average the cost of the distribution over a substantial period of time, we also find some evidence by which this can be reduced further. And for that, the typical techniques which are coming from the analytics can also be utilized for this. And when we say technology intervention, there could be a good intervention coming from the blockchain. Again, this will also try to streamline the public distribution system, and it could be leveraged for a variety of stages within the public distribution system. Similarly, other technologies, whether it is barcode, whether it is, let us say, use of GPS, use of RFID, use of robotics for having automated warehouse for food storage and so on. Again, there is a huge scope for utilizing the advantages coming because of the technology. And as a SOM researcher, what is interesting, why the intervention of modeling and the technology is ultimately at the end of the day, we must be in a position to realize the goals of SDG. For example, here what has been shown, that through such powerful intervention, we will be closer in meeting SDG number 2, SDG number 12, having responsible production and consumption. Similarly, making some intervention by which we can understand the climate change or maybe improving the quality of life on land. So each one of these, each of the technology intervention will also help in realizing the goals of SDG. And as I said, there are some states which have already started implementing what is called as EPDS. And through EPDS, the entire information is available. How much grain has been distributed, who are the beneficiaries, how much subsidy has been given by government, and so on. So again, this provides a good feedback to a variety of models which are to be utilized in the domain of so-called public distribution system. The second example, we are all aware the way India has distributed the COVID vaccine. And India has really demonstrated the leadership, not only in R&D, but also in the distribution. The distribution had its own challenge. The distribution has to be done at specified temperature. And there was some knowledge base which was existing thanks to the Pulse Polio Abhiyan. Through that Polio Abhiyan, there was already an infrastructure of the cold chain which was existing. And that existing infrastructure was fruitfully utilized in making the COVID vaccine distribution possible. And from this point of view, it also gave an opportunity to develop again some model which will be used for making some kind of a decision support system, again trying to evaluate a variety of scenarios as far as the COVID vaccine distribution is concerned. So again, trying to understand the problem, trying to understand the modeling effort, and basically why these models are existing. These are not for the sake of just modeling, but these models are basically trying to make some impact on the way we look at in the community, the way we look at a variety of applications and so on. So our group, that is PSL, Public System Lab, is basically trying to do this kind of effort. And in this way, we're also trying to sensitize the modeling community as well as the policymaker. This work which is presented is at the intersection of operation research, economics, public policy, and technology. So this is truly what we call it as an interdisciplinary work. And this way, as a modeler, we also get some satisfaction that these models are going to be useful. So thank you very much. I just wanted to give a glimpse what we are trying to do as far as the practice of sustainable operations management is concerned. Thank you very much. Any comments? I'll be very happy. Again, I would request Professor Ravi Shankar, because his talk is on the recent developments in the operations and supply chain management. Hopefully, this will also set some kind of a stage for your talk. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your impactful words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Mukeshwar Yadav to deliver his vote of thanks.
It's very good evening to everyone sitting here. On the behalf of Icasem 2024, I thanks a lot to Sethi sir to enlightening us about the electric vehicle, their aspects, how we can grow in this field. Specifically, electric vehicles is more towards our topic, that is sustainable development. We are gonna to shift from the hydrocarbon emission vehicles to the electric vehicles. This is a new need we are inside, and as you are pioneer in this research, thanks a lot for enlightening us with your thoughts, your ideas. Thanks a lot, Sethi sir. Then Deshmukh sir, he always talks about the sustainability. I have heard his lectures a lot of time through the various institutions. He always talk how to save our Mother Earth. Thanks a lot, sir, for enlightening us on the sustainable aspects on supply chain management. Everyone knows it's very important, supply chain management. What we are getting at our home is through that supply chains. So making it sustainable is the key thing, and obviously none other than the panel researcher Deshmukh sir. He said each and every aspect of this. Thanks a lot. Thank you to both our eminent dignitary guests, Deshmukh sir and Sethi sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for your presence here. Now I would like to request everyone to proceed for the tea break.